5-5. I paid Lucy a visit again the next day.
Yuta, konnichiwa.
Hi. Where's Dora? Out shopping? Considering last night's fiasco, I immediately asked about Dora. Also, last night. Brother, it was the middle of the day.
いいえ、今日は遊びよ。なんでも最近、ハトと仲良くなっているそうで。
Hang on. Has taken a liking to a pigeon. Wait, a pigeon?
遅れてやってきた春なのかしらね。近頃のドーラったら毛づくろいに余念がないわよ。
So how old is Dora anyway?
さあ、私にもわからないわ。
I mean,
見た目は昔からああだし。
he is a traditionalist, so it makes sense. Dora was a mysterious bat. Could a bat fall in love with a pigeon? I was suddenly curious. Well, an heartful boyfriend. A human falls in love with a pigeon. So like, if a bat can't, then why would a human be able to as well? It's crazy that that's one of the first visual novels I knew of. It's a fucking pigeon dating sim. But even taking care of all the housework and things, Dora still finds time to get out, huh?
私はそっちの方がありがたいわよ。せっかく自由の身になったというのに、常に監視の目があるというのもね。
I nodded. Not having that servant around would make it easy to spend time with Lucy. So what happened after last night?
ええ。
You could just say yesterday. Did your dad get angry with you? Dora was yelling and screaming about reporting it.
ああ、いいえ、それはないわ。途中で捕まえて誤解が解けるまで首根っこを絞ってやったから。
Yeah, and besides, why would Lucy's dad get mad at Lucy? He'd get mad at you. If Dora told Lucy's dad what happened last night, you'd be dead. I see. But then what was the problem? Lucy seemed to have a sullen look on her face. So what was that yesterday?
あれ?
You were staring deeply into my eyes. I couldn't ask you about it because you zipped back to your world.
ええ。
Lucy sadly muttered a response. And according to the excuse you gave Dora, it wasn't a kiss.
でも、実はキスのつもりだったとしたら、どうする?
Answer the question, don't...
ちょっとね、気になることがあって。
Lucy stepped further away from me and frowned once more. Wondering. After a few moments of hesitation, her mouth went still. She seemingly didn't want to bring it up. Bring it all up. Hey, how about we go out today?
Eh?
Yeah, like a date. Dora's gone, and we have the day off. I wasn't even considering it when I arrived, but it was kind of blurted out. I just kind of blurted it out. Plus, Lucy looked a little depressed about something. And maybe going out for a bit would cheer her up. I thought it might.
それは、二人きりでということかしら。
Yeah, right. I hadn't given this enough thought at all.
そう。
She brought it up, but she was the one blushing. When she was quiet, she had a sort of cold, sharp beauty, but the occasional shy action made her adorable.
ああ、じゃあ、ちょっとメイクやセットを直さなければね。
Huh?
家で待っていて。こちらから迎えに行くわ。
Okay. I was kind of planning on leaving right away. Well, this was one of the stereotypical differences between men and women. Also, there's a reason she has casual attire. Because you wanted them to wear human-looking clothing, so it would make sense why she has to dress up in human-looking clothing. What do you mean? She finally came after an hour or so.
お待たせ。
It's more so the makeup that doesn't make sense, right? But, like, that was so long.
失礼。けどユータとしても私がより綺麗な方が嬉しいでしょ。
Well, I guess. Still, I didn't notice any difference. Would she be mad if I told her that, truthfully? Well, no. There's a reason why she puts on subtle makeup. I couldn't just wait that long every time, so I said it in a roundabout way. But you're so pretty to begin with. I'd like to just see you without your clothes on. I'd like to just see you without your clothes on? You mean makeup?
ユーだったらいきなり大胆だわ。
Dang, that deviated a bit from what I meant.
もちろん私たちが結ばれた暁には全てをさらけ出すつもりでいるけどね。
So yeah, he actually did mean clothes. But then, like, how else could you interpret what he said? Like, what do you mean? Deviated a bit from what you meant. It meant what you meant. What? I groaned unconsciously. Like, if you said without your makeup on, it makes sense. But you said without your clothes on, and that could only mean one thing. Nothing, not at all. This is surprising. I was not expecting naked Sprite, but then, like, I wasn't expecting to not see her tits. Right? It was like, what? They didn't. It's not like it's the all ages version. You can show her tits. I'll just have to censor them myself. Like, what do you mean? What are you doing? Huh?
鼻血が。
What? Even just imagining it. Damn it. Just hang on a minute. No, you can get her to lick it off. Wait, no, that's weird. Well, it's not weird. She's a vampire, but like, I went and stuffed a tissue into both nostrils. Both? Okay. Oh, good to go. Where should we go?
それで外に出るの？ちょっと見栄えが悪いわね。
Yeah, but like, wouldn't you prefer a man covered in blood? Wait, no. Sorry, but I have to do this for a while until it stops.
まあいいわ。別に人の目を気にするわけじゃないし。ユータなら大概のことは許せるもの。
Her red face made it clear blood was rushing to her head. Rushing to her head as well. I felt another surge in the back of my nose. I was thinking while I waited for you, how about the theme park?
遊園地というのは？
Oh, she didn't know what a theme park was. It's hard to explain with words, but trust me, it's super fun.
そうね。ユータがそう言うなら。
Bro, we're like speedrunning through the romantic shit. They even started in the second hangout event. Like, I get Lucy's the main character, main heroine, the poster child, the mascot, so it makes sense that her route would be the most plot heavy, but like, you know, you don't have to rush it this far. I mean, they're not dating, they're not officially together yet. I understand that. They haven't confessed to each other yet, but like, you know, I was thinking the ocean could be nice too, but we can't swim yet.
いつから泳げるようになるの？
Swimming season starts in July.
そう。楽しみだわ。
You've never actually swam in the ocean, right?
ええ。海自体こちらに来て初めて見たわけだから。
I wonder if you'll be okay swimming under the burning sun.
え？
I looked at her long milky legs under her skirt. Hang on, such amazing legs. But that aside for now, it's like, I mean, bro, her skirt is too long for you to see her legs. I mean, you get to see her calves and a bit of her upper leg, but, you know, Lucy's skin was almost unrealistically free of blemishes. Exposing it to the sun and sea air might be damaging. Sunburns, you know.
過保護なドーラみたいなこと言うのね。
Well, I can't help but be a little worried. In a case like this, Dora opposing it opposing it wasn't purely just a matter of personality. It was for Lucy's well-being too. She was just too beautiful. Perhaps that was why those under her tended to treat her like a precious gem. But something told me that wasn't necessarily what led to her independence and rebellion to develop.
大丈夫よ。海開きというのが来たら、私はきっと泳ぐわね。
I hope, because Yuna's route was sorely missing out on Bikini Yuna. Your makeup's gonna run, and your hair will get ruined. I just decided to play devil's advocate for the sake of it.
メイクも髪のセットもいわば上辺のお飾りよ。上辺ばかり気にして楽しいことも楽しめなくなるような人生、私は送るつもりはないわ。
But you still wear makeup anyway, regardless of the fact that you've confirmed that you'll be dating, you'll be with Yuta forever, right? It's like all but confirmed now. So why are you still wearing makeup? Obviously, it's because she still cares about the superficial things. Okay, well, it's settled. Let's go swim in July.
ええ本当に楽しみよ。
Let's go swim in July.
ああ、電車に乗るの？
Yeah, we're going to the same location, Aragi, when we went to donate blood.
そういえば、あの時は情けない姿を見せてしまったわね。
But it worked out in the end, right?
クラスメートの反応ね。
Right. Everyone was clueless about what actually happened, but the whole class warmed up to Lucy afterwards. Things had been going swimmingly in class for her.
それもそうだったわね。
There were open seats on the train, but Lucy stood near the door enjoying the scenery. Each time the door opened and more people embarked, they all did a double take at Lucy. She attracted attention just by standing still.
二人きりで出かけるのって初めてよね。
Yeah. The plan to go out didn't bloom until I saw her earlier. But here we were, riding the train to a theme park together. It was an almost surreal feeling, but I was ecstatic nonetheless.
嬉しい？
Yeah, I am. How about you? Lucy silently looked out the window.
私、抑えつけられて生きてきたせいかしらね。自分のしたいことをするということにはちょっとこだわりがあるの。したくなければ、嬉しくなければ、眩しい中わざわざ街中に出たりしないわ。
I see.
相変わらず人が多いのね。
A mix of surprise and irritation colored Lucy's face.
家の近くの白樺駅？あっちより全然多いみたい。
That's because this is the middle of the city.
献血に来た時は周りにクラスメートもたくさんいたから気にならなかったけど。こうもたくさん人がいるとなんだかちょっと気になるわね。
Lucy crossed her arms and hugged her shoulders. You dislike crowds?
結局どこに行くにもお付きの者がいたから。
I'm with you now. I knew it sounded corny, but I wanted to reassure her.
ユータは従者ではないけれど、
Lucy smiled.
大勢の者から注目を浴びるのには慣れているのだけど、こういう雑踏というのはなかったわね。
What do you mean?
パレードとか偽装馬車に乗って民の間を練り歩く、そんなことはよくやったもの。
Oh.
そう思えばこれはこれで悪くないわね。何者でもない自分、解放感があるもの。
So, I guess you're okay? The theme park should be just as crowded today. Lucy nodded. I started off toward the bus station.
けれどやっぱりちょっと不安ではあるから。
She pulled on my elbow. I turned around and saw her shy nervousness on her face.
へえ。
We passed through the entrance gate, and Lucy's eyes went wide. She had been clutching my arm since we boarded the bus, but she quickly released me and took a few steps forward.
これが遊園地。なんだか変わった場所ね。
Where should we go first? I looked down at the guide map. I had in my hands. Lucy had never visited a theme park of any kind, so it wouldn't do much to ask her. Well, we can just start, huh? I looked up and noticed Lucy was gone. Oh, there she is. She was glaring suspiciously at Mocky Mouse. The person inside seemed surprised by the beautiful girl staring them down like that. Hey, Lucy. I called out to her and hurried to her side.
私ったらついつい無心に見つめてしまったわよ。あの生き物は何なの？
It's, well, they try and pretend there's no one actually inside. It's, they refer to him as legally distinct rodent.
こちらにも化粧っていたのかしら。
I wish, but unfortunately the world isn't that interesting. It then hit me that she wouldn't know about our pop culture. I explained thoroughly from the beginning. So it all started in the 1930s, where a regular guy named Walt Disney started his own company and created a film called Snow White. To be fair, Walt Disney kind of started way before the 1930s, but they popped off in the 1930s thanks to Snow White and saved them, which essentially prevented them from going bankrupt. And then, you know, it started, it spawned the fucking empire that Disney is right now. We decided that we would just do a lap around the park. As we feared, the huge crowds of people unnerved Lucy a bit, so I gave her my arm. It was a small gesture, but being depended on for comfort by a girl wasn't bad at all. Not to mention, she was beyond beautiful. After a few rides and such, I could tell she was finally relaxed by the smile on her face.
メリーゴーランドっていいわね。馬の背に乗ったのは初めてだわ。ねえユータ、次はあれに乗ってみたい。
Lucy pointed at the roller coaster. You sure? It's really fast and intense.
乗ってみなければわからないわよ。
You got me there. We stood in line. What? What? I hadn't ridden it in ages. I'm a little dizzy.
なかなか楽しいものね。ジェットコースターって。
In total contrast to my dizziness, Lucy was beaming. I knew in that moment bringing her was the right choice. It wasn't scary.
いいえ、楽しかったわ。
Well, that's good.
私、空を飛ぶのが苦手だから、飛べるようになった気がしてよかったわね。
But wasn't it your decision to build a fucking sunroof build a skylight in the roof of the house so you could easily go to Yuta's room whenever you wanted to without knocking on the door?
ユータは怖かった？
No, it was fun for me too. I felt like I was witnessing a different side to Lucy.
じゃあ次に行きましょう。次。
Yeah. She had been clinging to me all day, but now I was the one getting pulled along. Dates sure are nice. They aren't even beating around the bush. They just admitted that it was a date. I can see a new side of someone. You can see a new side of someone you thought you knew. And fall for them even more. Okay, yeah. They're pushing it really hard.
そろそろ帰った方がいいのかしら。
Probably. The sun was setting. We were a little late leaving today, after all.
以前は夜に行動するのが普通だったのに、こっちに来てからというもの、すっかり昼型になってしまったわね。これはどういう乗り物なの？
Well, you just enjoy the scenery from high up.
うん。確かに眺めはいいわね。
Yeah, totally. I said that without really looking out the window. The view of her thighs in front of me was too cute. Wait. The view of her thighs in front of me was too cute. Yeah, that's not grammatically correct. It should be were, because you're describing the plies as thighs. You're referring to both thighs, so the plural, whatever. Girls have such cute little legs. Okay, we get it. You're into legs. I'm surprised they haven't done any. I'm surprised none of the girls have done thigh jobs, especially because he's talked extensively about every girl's legs, whenever in each route. Although I shouldn't generalize like that.
なんだかちょっと緊張してしまうわね。
Yeah.
ユータも高いところ苦手なの？
Oh, that's what you meant. That's what you mean.
ユータったら赤い顔して何を考えているのかしら？
Nah. I think I've just read because of the sunset.
それは私だって緊張しているわよ。だって。
She leaned over to whisper in my ear, and I felt goosebumps rise on my neck.
初めてユータと二人っきり。ということは、好きな男の子と初めて二人きりになったのだから。
Well, I wouldn't say alone for the first time, but definitely for an extended period of time.
ねえ、ユータ、私のこと好き？
Oh.
あ、ダメ。
Huh?
やっぱりちょっといきなりは聞けなかったわ。
Lucy put both hands on her cheeks and shook bashfully. She was bold, but equal parts shy. That gap was what I found so charming about her. We had known each other for a month, but there was still a lot to learn about her. Going on a date would help speed up that process. Your face is red too. Your face is red too, Lucy.
赤い太陽のせいじゃないかしらね。きっと。
We should leave it at that then. We disembarked from the bus at Araragi Station. Interesting. I can see this route going one of two ways, right? Either they have these moments of romance, but they're never actually officiated because Lucy's dad disapproves of Yuta, right? And then it'll take the whole route before he finally approves of him, and then they make it official. Or they actually do make it official, but then they have to spend the rest of the route convincing Lucy's dad to approve, I guess. I don't know. It's like the second version makes more sense, because then it would lead to hate scenes, right? Because I don't think they would do hate scenes with characters that aren't together. Even though obviously in the first one, in the first thing, like Lucy and Yuta obviously still like each other. They just haven't officiated it. They haven't made it official, right? But they still have hate scenes because obviously they're gonna get together. Right? I don't know.
今日は楽しかった。誘ってくれてありがとう、ゆうた。
Or maybe it goes down a different route, different path, different. The route ends up differently to the two things I mentioned, especially because of the first CG of the game, right? That hasn't been brought up yet. It's going to be brought up in this route, but obviously because it was Lucy. But like, yeah, it wasn't even hinted at in the common route. It wasn't hinted at in the hangout events. So like, yeah, I had fun too. You feeling better?
元気?
When I went to your place, you seemed upset about something. That's partly why I wanted to take you here. She looked like she was enjoying herself the whole time, so I thought everything was fine. But she still had something on her mind.
なんとなく悔しいような恥ずかしいような気持ちがあったから今まで黙っていたのだけど。いい加減それも良くないのかしらね。ずっと隠せるわけでもないのだし。
What are you talking about?
ええ、ユータの話。
Me?
それは言い換えれば私たちについての話でもある。この辺りって話せる場所あるかしら。
Yeah, there's plenty of cafes.
お店よりは周りに気兼ねなく話せるような場所の方がいいのだけど。
In that case, I think there's a lookout park nearby. I thought I told her to wait and went to check the map board by the station. My memory was fuzzy because I had virtually no reason to go there before. The lookout park was a hotspot for couples, so I had heard at least. Okay, want to go to the park? There might be people, but it's open enough so we don't have to worry.
ええ、じゃあそこに。
We walked away from Araragi Station. I didn't know what she wanted to talk about, but I was excited to go to the park alone with her. I'm not looking forward to what she wants to talk about.
へえ、なかなかいい場所なのね。
Yeah. It had a spacious layout, and even if there were others around, couples could get intimate. The lights from the city illuminated the view beautifully.
ここはユータも初めてなの？
Yep. I didn't bother telling her the reason. We took an open spot near the fence.
きれい。私たちの居城は森の中に立っていて、周りに人家の明かりってないから ちょっと新鮮な眺めだわ。
We sat silently, enjoying the view for a bit.
ねえ、ユータ。
Yeah?
私たちが初めて出会った時のことは思い出せた？
No.
そう。まあ、そうでしょうね。
I feel like we collided. I have that memory or impression, more so. Lucy nodded. I wasn't wrong, it seemed. Oh, right. I thought of this just now. I still don't know what happened when we made our pact.
それはそうでしょうね。だって隠していたから。
Hiding it. Just like earlier, Lucy flickered her hair back, looking slightly depressed.
ユータの記憶は正しいの。私、走っていてあなたに衝突してしまったのよ。
Yeah, we still haven't figured out what you were running from.
では、なぜそんな勢いで走っていたかというと、
Well, I ask and I shall receive, I guess.
追われていたから。
Being chased. Well, that part is obvious. I was wondering what... I was more like what you were getting chased by.
化粧に。
Demi creature. I remembered her saying that word at the theme park.
平たく言うと怪物よ。そういえば、前にそんな話をちょっとだけしたわね。ドーラが。
Oh, yeah, I think I remember. No, it's not quite vast enough to get lost. But in the outskirts of town, monsters emerge.
化粧は大地から生まれるの。大地を流れるエネルギーは時に滞って、その目詰まりが限界まで達すると外に吐き出される。その排出されたエネルギーが形をとったのが化粧。理性もなければ知性もない、ただただ欲望だけに忠実な危険な化け物ね。あの時私はそんな化け物に襲われていたのよ。城に閉じ込められて、外に出るときは必ずお付きの者がいる。幼い頃からそんな生活が不満で、好きあらばと冒険の機会を伺っていたの。そしてあの日、生まれて初めて実行に移したというわけ。話は前後するけど、その初めての冒険でちぎりを交わす相手を見つけた。王者は強運をも身につけているのね。
I laughed along with her. If anything, I was the one who was blessed.
それで化粧のことだけど、いくら私が吸血鬼最強の力を持つとはいえ、当時はまだ子供。はっきり言って逃げるしかなかった。
Your power, the entrancing eye.
そう、これよ。
I don't know why the whole screen turns red when her eyes go red, but like, sure. Flashbang. She wasn't looking directly at me, but her gaze was still potent enough to send shivers down my spine.
この力で私は相手を支配下に置くことができる。けれど当時の力では強力な化粧には通じなかった。それで情けないけど逃げるしかなくて。
Ow, ow, ow. The girl's head slammed right into my chin. I managed to keep my footing somehow, but my vision blurred with pain. Are you okay? The girl, however, flew back about a meter. Huh? Demi, what? What is that? What is that? I first thought it was a large man in red clothes running, but upon closer inspection, those weren't clothes, and it wasn't a man. My knees trembled in fear. I wanted to escape, but my body felt paralyzed, and I could do nothing. The girl yanked on my arm, and I managed to move my legs along with her. My steps were clunky though. We somehow made our way behind a large tree and hid from the pursuer. The girl was panting after running for so long. She was desperately trying to suppress it, but her shoulders heaved up and down. I could hear heavy thudding footfalls and terrifying breathing noises. It was an unbelievably loud noise, like a storm. As I pulled the girl up from the ground, she whispered to me. Huh?
私が誰だかわからないの？あら、あなたは人間？まあいいわ、とにかく逃げるの。この私が化粧ごときに。
I thought I was a goner. We were backed up against the tree, and standing in front of us was a massive rock-like monster. Escape was impossible. It was a different monster.
何してるの?
Oh, no, it wasn't a different monster. It's the same red monster. Never mind. I was gonna say like the can, but whatever. What? What was I doing? A moment ago, I was paralyzed with fear, but now I was stepping forward. Well, that's because you saw how cute Lucy was. I had no idea I was capable of such bravery.
早く逃げなさい! 何がおかしいのよ。
I'm surprised that he can speak. Somewhat. The monster had his hands up, ready to lunge at any second.
私が足止めをする。いいわね。その隙に逃げるのよ。
Stop it! The monster took a sharp turn, then slowly walked away.
どうして?
Oh, that's that plot armor. That's the power of plot armor, you know? We're saved. Let's get out of here. The girl was in a stupor for some reason. We had switched roles, and now I was pulling her along by the hand.
何度も言うようだけど、私は最強の力を持つの。今ならあの程度の化粧なんてことはないのだけど、当時は通用しなかった。ところで、私とユータは同い年ね。
Yeah.
であれば、よくても私と同程度の力のはず。なのにユータは。
Huh? Wait, power?
化粧を支配下に置き、遠ざけた力よ。わからないの？あの時、私たちを救ったのはあなたの力なのよ、ユータ。
But I was so confused. I couldn't muster up a response. Huh?
ユータはあの時、私を守ってくれた。それで私はあなたの背中にいて。だから、目は見えなかったのだけど。 けれどあれは確かに魔眼の力だった。
No way. I could only mutter in disbelief. It was impossible to think I had that kind of power.
記憶にないのだから意外に思うのも当然かもしれないけれど。
Lucy slowly reached over her and touched my neck.
ここに残った愛の証、それが何よりの証拠だわ。
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's the only pact that left a physical mark on him. Now that she mentioned it, sucking blood was like an expression of love for vampires. She said so after the blood donation fiasco.
この私がむやみにそんなことをすると思う？
I don't. Bro, why did she have such a fucking dump truck? Why did she have such a fucking ass when she was younger, bro? Like, if Lucy was, I'm not gonna say, I'm not saying that old, but like the same body type. Well, maybe I was gonna say if she was the same body type as she is in the flashback now, Dexter would make her this would be Dexter's favorite girl. Dexter is my mod, by the way. But you know, he probably doesn't like that she'd have this big of an ass.
ユウタ、あなたの血はとても美味しい。
Blood? I exhaled heavy and ragged breaths. My vision was blurring, but it didn't feel unpleasant at all. Actually,
これはちぎり。
pact?
私を救ってくれたあなたを私は離さない。私はもうあなたのものよ。
Her soft breath smelled faintly of blood.
とはいえ、人間のあなたにちぎりを押し付けるつもりはない。だから待っていて。私はどんな困難があっても必ずあなたに会いに行くから。
Me?
ええ、ユウタのもとへ。そしてユウタが私を求めてくれるなら、その時こそちぎりにのっとりあなたの花嫁になる。
Lucy removed her hand. The soft touch of her fingers lingered on my neck.
実際のところユウタがどういう存在なのか私にもわからない。ただ魔眼のことは脇に置いても、ユウタは昔いくつもの異世界を巡ったわ。
Yeah, that's the thing though. In Yuna's route, right? We got the why he traveled to multiple worlds, but we didn't get the how. Because it's weird, right? In this VN, it's not like Yuta's the only one who's gotten spirited away. There's a reason, there's a term for what happened to Yuta when he was younger, right? But I think it's more so the fact that he's done it, he did it so much more often than any other person in this world, right? I don't know. Yeah, I have.
そんなことはこちらの人には決してできないことなの。だからそれだけでも少し変わった存在ということになるわね。
Or is it like Yuta's the only one who's done it and they made a terminology because of how many times he's done it? They made the terminology for him because of how many times he's done it.
ショックかしら。
Quite unlike her usual persona, Lucy was unsure of the situation as she asked. I'm not exactly shocked, just a little surprised, I guess. I couldn't process my emotions fast enough. Plus, I didn't have any concrete memories of back then, so I never contemplated it too deeply. But my past instances of being spirited away, they were indeed unusual circumstances. That unusual nature was, for me, essentially just like falling into a hole. The hole was just there. Anyone could just as easily fall into it. But that might not have been the case. I may have been able to travel to the other worlds through a power I possessed. In other words, maybe I had the shovel and dug the hole myself.
このことは黙っていたい気持ちがあったのだけど、言うわね。
I am surprised that they're getting into this so early into Lucy's route, because like we got into the why. We got into the why he got spirited away so many times very late into Yuna's route. So I thought it'd be kind of the same thing here, but I guess Lucy's route has a lot more other things that she needs to deal with than how he spirited himself away.
私がこちらに来るにあたって、一つだけ情報を飲まされたのよ。
Injunction.
そのことを説明する前に、私はユータが吸血鬼に近い存在であることを疑っていないわ。
Lucy looked deeply into my eyes. I swear to God, surely it's not a thing of, Yuta's grandparents or grandmom or granddad was a vampire, right? And then he inherited the powers of a vampire because blah blah blah, and that's why he's able to get spirited away, because stuff like that. Because like, I guess I am curious as to how Yuta's granddad is so rich and has so much land that it's big enough to have 5 other houses on it, and not like houses built in an efficient way where it's like where it's like what would it be? It's in columns and rows, right? It's just 5 houses on the same row, right? Or same column, I guess. I now knew what she meant when she asked me if I was in shock. Go on.
それはユータの力を目の当たりにしたからということと、あともう一つ実際的な意味があるの。そうでなければ私たちの結婚はスムーズに進まないから。ユータとのちぎりの後は両親はもうカンカンになったわよ。普段甘ったるいくらいのお父様もあの時ばかりは怒っていた。
He said parents, plural.
けれど私は言ったものよ。相手の男の子はただの人間ではない。むしろ私をもしのぐ力がある。
So like, what did your mom say?
だったら何が問題なのって。
I remembered what her father had said. I don't. But this boy before me, he seems like a mere unremarkable human. And that's what Dora says too. So on the flip side, he would recognize me as a partner if I wasn't a mere human. Ah, I see. So that's why they're getting into it so early. Because it's directly linked to Lucy's dad's approval.
それから数年、お父様お母様は私が忘れることを期待していたようだけど、私はそんなはずはなかった。
That also wouldn't make sense. You made a pact with him. It's not like you had a crush on him and you're going to pursue him. You made a pact. It's kind of impossible for you to forget unless you accidentally like got rid of the pact or whatever they do. Cancel the pact.
そしていよいよユータが元服を迎えた。元服についての説明は覚えているわね。
Yeah. The reason Lucy and all the others came at the same time was that they were waiting for me to reach maturity.
私は当然 出立を主張した。そこでまた蝶々発信のやり取りがあったものだけど、結局2つの条件を出されたの。一つはドーラを連れて行く。それは別に構わなかったのだけど、もう一つがさっき言った情報よ。私は改めて証拠を見つけなければならなくなった。ユータが単なる人間とは異なるという証拠をね。
Oh, I see. So that's why that you were staring into my eyes yesterday.
ええ。あと1週間くらい前、図書館に案内してもらったでしょ。あれも目的は同じ。洗礼がどこかに転がっていないものかと思って。だったのだけど。
Based on her tone, she clearly failed. Yeah, that's why she... So I was right. She asked those questions because she thought he was a vampire. I thought it was... She thought he was turning into one because of the pact or whatever, but clearly that wasn't the case. I mean, after I said that, I knew it didn't make sense, but I didn't correct myself.
ただ勘違いはしないでよ。私は結局どっちだっていいの。ユータはユータだわ。
Yeah.
それでも面倒なことは否めないから。
Lucy looked out over the city lights sullenly. I definitely got a stubborn impression from him.
そうね。まあ頑固というか過保護というか。
But once again, you said parents. What about your mum? He was so sweet and gentle with his daughter, but cold as Arctic frost with me. Another unnerving point was when his face was beet red, and he shouted that he was vehemently opposed.
もともと結婚自体気に食わないのよ。いつまでも小中の玉にしておきたい。そんな心境なのかしらね。私が言うのもあれだけど。
Hey, maybe that's why there's a flower that's constantly spinning in the corner of the text box.
けれど、私もいつまでも子供でいるつもりはないわ。ましてや、しぶしぶ親が用意した相手としぶしぶ結婚する。そんなのはまっぴらね。私が愛する男は私が見つけるわよ。ねえ、ゆうたもそう思わない？
Yeah.
今日ちょっと浮かない顔をしていたのはそういうことや。これまでもそれとなくは伺っていたのだけど、予想に反してなかなかこれという証拠が見つからなかったから。それでお父様とのことが面倒だなって憂鬱になっていたの。
Now I see. Annoying meaning, even if she couldn't find proof, she had decided to follow her heart. Well, how about me then? How do I feel about that? Oh, right. You said as we were getting off the bus, you were kind of embarrassed and angry, so you were keeping quiet about it. You keeping quiet about it?
だってお父様の意向を気にしているわけだから、そんなの悔しいし恥ずかしいじゃない。
Oh, now I get it. That was so like her. Usually ignoring what her parents think is a difficult thing. Yet Lucy was embarrassed at herself. Well, you're not a normal girl. You're a princess. The Vampire King himself stood in our way. I was trying to trick myself into thinking we could just resolve this through brute force somehow. I wonder if we can't find something to convince him.
どうにかしてか。
I've just been leading a relatively uneventful life until now. It might be pretty hard in that case. Now what?
ユータがそんなことを気にするということは、やっぱりこの私に一番惹かれているのね。
I looked right into her eyes and nodded. Yeah, I am. I managed to calmly declare this. I'm in love with you.
やだ。
What?
なんだか照れてしまうわ。
Lucy turned away, the redness spreading down even to her neck. She was more adorable than ever.
まあ、あなたの気持ちは分かっていたわよ。
Just when I thought I caught her being bashful, she laughed with her usual confidence. She was cute in that moment too. Was that all you wanted to talk about? I'm getting hungry. Maybe we should go back soon.
ええ。
We left the area by the fence and headed to the park exit. While we walked, I boldly grabbed her hand. Lucy looked surprised, in stark contrast with my nervous determination. This is what couples do here. Walk while holding hands. They also do a bunch of other things here, but like they can do that later. My embarrassment was contagious. Seeing how she blushed, she must have gotten the message.
いいものね。ユータのことを感じるわ。
I felt her too. Her hand felt so soft, small and smooth, as I held it for the first time. If possible, I wanted to hold onto it forever.
私、あの日冒険に踏み出して本当に良かったと思っているの。だって、こうして人生の意義が見つかったのだから。
Lucy squeezed my hand firmly as she said it. One's purpose in life.
それに、後先を考えない行動から思いがけない人生の意義が見出されることもあるわ。
Even during the time on the train, we never let go of of each other's hand. I thought that the flashbang would lead to something, you know, like a CG of them kissing, but apparently not. There was no reason for it. We grudgingly let go, still longing for more. The next instant, the chilly wind bit my hand with more ferocity than before.
じゃあ、また明日。
Yeah, I wonder if Dora will be mad. You leaving during the day like that. I asked just to keep her around a second longer.
さあ、どうかしらね。一応書き置きは残したけど、まああの心配性のことだからバタついてはいるだろうけど。ゆうたも考えておいてね。どうやって証拠を見出すか。
Oh, yeah.
私も考えるから。それじゃあ。
Yeah, bye. I watched her until she was all the way inside. She turned around to look more than a couple of times and waved at me. It was an exhilarating novelty for me. Our first date, and the first time I really came to terms with my feelings. Now that I was alone, I felt like I could allow my joy to transform into a foolish smile. And then I thought to myself, I'm really glad I met the vampire princess.